Welcome to the Atlas Racing YouTube channel. My name is Jack, and today I'm going to be covering a preview of the Travers Stakes that is happening on Saturday at Saratoga. This is one of the biggest races of the summer, featuring some of the best horses in the entire world. So today I'm going to be covering each and every of the 8 horses in this race, how I think they're going to perform in the Travers Stakes, and what I think of these horses. First up, we have number 1, Cyberknife. Cyberknife just won the Haskell Stakes at Monmouth Park. You can see in this great victory right here, going up right to the front. And Cyberknife is a talented horse, first place in past 2 races, and then you have 18th at the Kentucky Derby. So I'm a little concerned about that one, but I think that Cyberknife showing very well and most recently in the Haskell Stakes is good reason to think that this horse has a positive chance in this race. So that being said, we have Monmouth Park, Haskell Stakes, first place, then Churchill Downs, first place, and 18th in the Kentucky Derby. Brought in $1.5 million over his career, and the jockey is Florent Geroux, and the trainer is Brad Cox. So Cyberknife is coming in third place, in my opinion, in this race. Number 2 in the race is Rich Strike, and Rich Strike won the Kentucky Derby, coming from behind at 80-1 odds to win, and that was a great performance. But we have most recently at Belmont Park coming in 6th place in Belmont Stakes, so a little bit of an underperformance. I was not too happy to see that. However, the Kentucky Derby race was a very well run one by Rich Strike, and most recently, though, a little underperforming. So I think this horse is going to be kind of middle of the pack. I could see Rich Strike emulating the performance in the Kentucky Derby, but I could also see Rich Strike falling back towards the back of the pack in this one. So number 2, Rich Strike came in 6th place in the Belmont Stakes at Belmont Park, first place in Churchill Downs' Kentucky Derby, and third place at Turfway Park right before that. Over $2 million in earnings in his career, mostly coming from the Kentucky Derby, and the jockey is Leon, and the trainer is Reed. So I'm saying 4th place for Rich Strike, completing the superfecta. Next, we have the number 3, Ain't Life Grand, and Ain't Life Grand has ran very well in the races that this horse has run. However, my only concern is that most recently, the 3 most recent races have all been at Prairie Meadows, which is not the best track out there and against not the best competition. So as you can see right here, first place most recently at Prairie Meadows, but my concern with this one is that this is not a race where you have a very high caliber of horses running. So most recently, we have first place at Prairie Meadows, and that one I just showed you. We have first place at Prairie Meadows, the one before that, and third place at Prairie Meadows right before that. So a good record when running. However, that's what I'm concerned about is $399K in earnings. So it tells you the talent faced is not the top tier. But the jockey is Tyler Gaffalione, and the trainer is Von Hemmel. And I'm going to say 7th place tomorrow for Ain't Life Grand. I think that Ain't Life Grand is going to come in 7th place at the Travers Stakes. Number 4 is Gilded Age, as you can see, winning here at Churchill Downs. First place, most recently came in 2nd place at Saratoga, so a little bit of a fallback, but a little bit of experience running at Saratoga. And one thing that I'm concerned about here is the low career earnings for this horse. This horse has not had a ton of experience racing against top-tier talent like we're going to see in the Travers Stakes. Came in 13th place at the UAE Derby, which is a top race with top horses, but 13th place in that race in the UAE is a little concerning to me. So this horse is going to be, I think, towards the back of the pack. So as you can see, 2nd place at Saratoga most recently, 1st place right before that at Churchill Downs, and 13th at Medan Race Course. Earnings of $204,000 in his career, very low, one of the lowest in this race. The jockey is Alvarado, and the trainer is Mott. So I'm going with last place, 8th place for Gilded Age. Number 5 is Artorias. This is a horse that I like, coming in first place most recently at Saratoga, so the track where the Travers Stakes is going to be run. That is a positive sign for me, but the only thing that I really see as a big drawback here is the low career earnings, less than $200,000 for this horse, Artorias, and that is not something that I like to see in a race against top-tier talent like the Travers Stakes. So I think this horse is better than the previous 2 horses that I just mentioned. However, I think that Artorias might have a bit of a difficult chance against horses like Epicenter and Zandon. So number 5, Artorias, first place at Saratoga, first place at Belmont, 2nd place at Keeneland. A pretty good record, but the talent is not top tier. $142,000 brought in the career, and the jockey is Iradotis Jr., and the trainer is Chad Brown. So 6th place is what I'm saying for number 5, Artorias. Here we have the number 6, Epicenter. This is my favorite for this race. Epicenter came in first place in the Jim Dandy Stakes at Saratoga. Jim Dandy Stakes are a good indicator of who's going to be successful in the Travers Stakes. So I see you in that 4-horse race. It was a very small field, but I saw Epicenter do very successful work on the track that day, coming in first place by a good length against these horses in the Jim Dandy Stakes. So Epicenter is my favorite for this race, a horse with a lot of experience and a good record running in big talented races. Took most recently second place at Pimlico in the Preakness Stakes and second place in the Kentucky Derby at Churchill Downs. So over $2 million in his career. That's the most earnings of any horse in this race, including Kentucky Derby winner Rich Strike, that is also in this race. The jockey is Joel Rosario and the trainer is Steven Asmussen. So I'm saying Epicenter is my first pick for this race. I think Epicenter is going to win the Travers Stakes. The number 7 is Early Voting. Early Voting won the Preakness Stakes at Pimlico, as you can see here, but Pimlico is a very different track than Saratoga. I think Early Voting, you have to look at some of the broader career performance for this horse, which does not, I think, stack up on a track like Saratoga, and I think against some of this talent you're going to see in this race. So very good job in the Preakness Stakes, but I think that will not be replicated in this race coming up on Saturday. Early Voting, talented horse, but I think Epicenter and Zandon have this horse beat. So as you can see, fourth place at Saratoga most recently, and then you have first place at Pimlico and second place at Aqueduct. So racing in New York is a little bit iffy, a little bit mixed results, and specifically at Saratoga most recently, fourth place. $1.3 million in earnings is pretty impressive. The jockey is Ortiz, and the trainer is Chad Brown. I'm going to go fifth place, middle of the pack for Early Voting in this race. Now we have the number 8, Zandon. Zandon is a talented horse winning the Bluegrass Stakes, as you can see right here. And Zandon ran in the Kentucky Derby, finishing towards the front. So this is a horse that is consistently performing well in top-tier talented races. My only concern here is that Epicenter is simply a better horse. So Zandon, I think, is going to come in second place in this race, as Epicenter is just a little bit stronger in head-to-head. You see the Kentucky Derby was a perfect example. Second place for Epicenter, and Zandon a little further back. So we have most recently at Saratoga for number 8, Zandon, at second place, right behind Epicenter. And then right before that, you have at Churchill Downs, the Kentucky Derby, again, right behind Epicenter. And right before that, you have first place at Keeneland in the Bluegrass Stakes. And that was a very well-run race. $1.1 million in earnings for this horse in his career. The jockey is Flavian Prat, and the trainer is Chad Brown. And second place is what I'm thinking for Zandon in this race. I think that Zandon is a very talented horse with a really good track record, especially at Saratoga and tracks like it. However, Epicenter, I think, just has this horse beat like Epicenter has done in the past 2 races. Thank you for watching this video. I ask that you please subscribe to my channel with that red button down below and comment who you think is going to win the Travers Stakes. I ask that you please like this video, and I appreciate you watching my content, as I like sharing my thoughts on horse races, especially big ones like the Travers Stakes. And you can look out on this channel for more content. I will be more active lately, and the coming weeks as we get closer to the Breeders' Cup, you will be able to find more information about horse races on this channel. So thank you for watching, and best of luck with your wagering.